I should have reviewed season 1 for this show a long time ago, but look, season 2 just wrapped up, so here we are. I'm going to just review this whole thing now. Well, I'm going to review parts of season 1, but essentially the entire thing is season 2, because this show is absolutely incredible. It's mind-blowing, breathtaking, sensational, all of these things and so many more, guys. Look, this is my review for Only Murders in the Building, season 2. Hey guys, it's your guy in the chair here, and look, like I said, this is going to be my spoiler-filled, well, I didn't say that it was spoiler-filled, but I'm saying it now. It's going to be a spoiler-filled review for Only Murders in the Building Season 2. I'm going to be going over bits and pieces of Part 1, or Season 1, not necessarily just because I haven't reviewed this show at all. And look, for those who have not seen the show, and essentially, like I said, this is going to be a spoiler-filled review. I'm going to do a quick little review, non-spoiler review right now for those who haven't seen the show. Look, plain and simple, this is one of the most delightful murder mystery shows I've ever seen in my entire life. Not only does this odd trio casting of Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez actually like work, but like the entire ensemble, the entire casting in general, this show creates a unique tone where all of these characters fit the bill, and they just make for an absolutely entertaining and fascinating murder mystery show. Like every character they introduce in this show is very interesting. They have a unique characteristic that you're just going to be attached to, and like I said, this show just leaves you at the end of both season finales. Both season finales leave you absolutely speechless. They have you waiting until the announcement for the next season, and then after the announcement, we are just painfully sitting here waiting to wonder what the heck is just going to go on, because like I said, this show has absolutely knocked it out of the park twice when it comes to season finales. It's knocked it out of the park twice when it comes to the season themselves. It's knocked it out of the park when it's come to the writing, the directing, the direction, the actual plot of this whole thing, like where this story actually goes, the twists and turns that it takes, how interesting it is, how developed these characters are. I mean, this show has everything, guys. Like, if you have not seen this show, this is a show where not a lot of people, I feel, are talking about it. Look, I understand it just got renewed for a 3rd season, so somebody's watching, but I'm by myself in this damn thing, and I need somebody to join me. I need to talk about this show with somebody, which is why I record these things, because most of these shows I watch by myself. I try to recommend stuff to people, they don't listen. I need people to listen to this recommendation. This show needs to be watched. This is not necessarily going to be bigger than House of Dragon or anything like that, or maybe not even bigger than Stranger Things, but this is the best show on streaming that nobody is talking about. This is a very good show, like a very, very good show. So that's just my quick little thoughts on the show itself. Let's get into the spoiler stuff. Okay, so for my thoughts on the show, I'm going to start with the finale, then kind of backtrack from there, because for me, Season 2 moves just a lot differently than Season 1 did. Season 1's mystery was a lot faster, and I'd say it was a little more developed, only in the sense of we're being just recently introduced to all of these characters. Like, we're being brought into this whole world, so everything is new to us. In Season 2, we've already been through this, routine in Season 1, so it's kind of feeling like the same thing in a sense, but after a certain point. So in Season 2, once this episode, like episode 1 through 3, very good reunion episode, bringing us back into this world and showing us, what the new mystery is, who's dead, and what is going to occur this season. That's a great introduction in episodes 1 through 3. Episodes 4 until I believe it's like episode 8, whenever the blackout episode of this thing is, the episodes move kind of slower. It's like they feel stuck. It's like, they hit a wall. They can't really figure this thing out. It's like whoever, did the murder, they completely outsmarted them. But here's the thing. They address all of that in the blackout. That's what I love about this show so much. They addressed all of that in the blackout episode. There's a big fan group, essentially, that follows our trio of Selena Gomez, Martin Short, and Steve Martin. I'm just going to keep saying trio, but that's who I'm talking about when I say trio. So there's a group of fans that follow our trio who do the murder podcast, and in the beginning of the blackout episode, they are literally sitting at a table saying, yeah, I feel like they hit a wall, they can't necessarily figure this thing out, and I don't really think they are. And you know what's crazy? I said the same thing to myself before I even pressed play. I was like, dude, this season is moving a lot slower. Like, I don't know what it is, but they're just not, I don't think they're really going to figure this thing out. And for the show to be so self-aware in its own, whatever the word is, I can't think of the word, you can help me out there, but for the show to be so self-aware, and for the fact that it just knows what its audience is already thinking, like, I really appreciate it for that. I wanted to fault the season for that too, because they knew they were kind of wasting our time, or essentially they were going very slow in the previous episodes, but they just were doing all that so they could, save everything for the last 3 episodes, because from the Blackout episode until the very end of this finale, you are on the edge of your seat. I mean, this finale was absolutely mind-blowing. Tina Fey was absolutely incredible. First of all, for us to go into this episode thinking that we are going to bring Cinda Canning, Tina Fey's character, to justice, I was thinking to myself, oh my goodness. Like, it was actually, I thought we were going to get, we got an even better ending than I expected. But for Tina Fey, originally for me going in thinking that Tina Fey did it, it actually made a lot of sense. Because why not, right? She's somebody who is literally having a competitive murder podcast against them, so why not set them up to just take them down and literally just take over their podcast? Like, it would have been a brilliant plan. But Poppy, or Becky, the girl in the shadows, Oklahoma, everything is not okay in Oklahoma. That girl, wow. I mean, what a twist. First of all, another thing I have to address about the finale, that they just really wanted to play with people's emotions there. When Steve Martin got stabbed by Cara Delevingne's character, first of all, after that happened, I was completely taken out of the show. Because I could not tell if that was real. I could not get my emotions together. I couldn't tell if I wanted. I was waiting on something from the show to tell me that is fake. He's alive. We're not joking here. Or we are joking here. He's good. But they put a sheet over him, and everybody just kept talking. The show just kept going. I promise you, I didn't care about anything anybody else was saying. If Steve Martin was not in this show, I didn't even want a season 3. I adore Charles Hayden Savage's character so much. Like, these guys are a pivotal part of the show. Martin Short and Steve Martin. Selena Gomez as well. But Steve Martin and Martin Short, they really bring something to this show that is much needed. It's very unique. Like I said, all of these characters have unique characteristics that are just needed in the show, and it just makes everything work. It makes this to be such a wacky, wonky mystery adventure that we just are so attached to. And I've never listened to a murder podcast, but essentially, if that's what this is, I don't think I'd ever listen to a murder podcast. But if you make more shows about them, hey, I'm willing to watch, because I love a good murder mystery. But the finale itself was just so incredible. Like I said, Steve Martin, I thought he was dead. I was very pissed off. We found out he's not dead at all. That's all a setup to get Poppy to reveal herself after, Cinda Canning offers Selena Gomez's character the job. I mean, the way they do all of that is just incredible. And first of all, the scene itself is just hilarious. Like, this is one of the best put together scenes in the entire show. Like, the show for the very last 3 episodes really did everything they could to wrap everything up so well, and then they even leave us on one of the biggest cliffhangers going into season 3. Paul Rudd was casted in season 3, but I saw that news before I saw the end of this finale, and I'm watching him, and he's our new murder victim in the next season, and it's like, he seems like a real asshole. So I'm very curious to see where that's gonna go. But my overall thoughts on this finale, man, I was just absolutely in shock the entire time. This show is very good. Like, I'm telling you guys, this is a show that everybody needs to check out, because the thing that is so gravitating about this show is the fact that you're trying to figure out, well, for me at least, I'm trying to figure out, when I watch season 1, I'm trying to figure out why is Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez in a show together. That is the most odd pairing you could ever put together on screen. I'm trying to figure out what makes that work. What makes it work is the fact that you have a young lady who's related to the millennials in the world, who can still keep us, connected, because Martin Short and Steve Martin are so out of touch. They are so out of touch, though, that it makes everything they do absolutely hilarious. Martin Short is the biggest standout in this show. I mean, he is a scene stealer. Anytime he comes on screen, anytime he is doing something, your attention is pivotally drawn to him, and you are not taking your eyes off of the screen until he is finished talking. That man demands your attention on screen, and I love everything about his character and so much more. I love everything about all of these characters, but Martin Short especially, he keeps a special place in my heart. Like I said, Steve Martin, Charles Hayden Savage, I almost saw him die. I was going to lose my fucking mind if that was the case, because I can't watch this show without my old guys, man. We need the old guys in this show, because they all bring a whole balance. It brings the whole show full circle, man. Just really balances it all out very well. And that's, guys, this I just can't say enough about this show. It's just amazing. So overall, guys, look, season 2 as a whole, it So if you watch these things like week to week, if you would have been watching it like weekly, you would have had the same feeling I had. Like, this mystery is going nowhere. Like, this is getting pretty slow. I don't know, where this thing is headed. I don't even know if they're going to figure this thing out. Like, that's where season 2 is kind of leaving you, all right? Like I said, right up until the Blackout episode. After that, the last 3 episodes are absolutely pedal to the metal. They don't let their foot off the gas, and it's absolutely insane. You are literally on the edge of if you were to binge watch all 3 of those episodes, your heart wouldn't stop pumping until the very last frame. And then even after that, you can check your pulse, and you're probably beating 4 times as fast as you need to be, because it just leaves you in such a state of shock. Like, you're just not ready for whatever comes next. Like, this show really knows how to take its twists and turns and do everything it needs to. Another thing I have to applaud this show so much for is its use of new cast members. Let me explain something to you. When Amy Schumer was casted in this show, I threw my hands up in disgust, because look, I don't necessarily want to hate on anyone. I don't like Amy Schumer. Amy Schumer, after Trainwreck, for some odd reason, took like the biggest cliff dive, and it just makes no... Trainwreck is very good. It's phenomenal. After that, she just took a cliff dive, and I don't really know what happened to her. But when Amy Schumer was announced in this show, I thought she was going to absolutely ruin it. She doesn't. She's literally in one episode. She plays the building's new Sting, for people who haven't seen the episode or who haven't seen the show. If you haven't seen the show, I don't know why you're still like listening to me talk, because I've spoiled a lot. But in season 1, they basically had like a special guest star who lived on the penthouse. In season 1, that was Sting. And now in season 2, it's Amy Schumer. She's only in the show for 1 episode. Thank you so much, show creators, for doing that, because honestly, when I saw her get casted, I honestly had a feeling for a second that she was going to be the killer. And I was just like, God, please don't let me have to watch some long, drawn out monologue about Amy Schumer trying to reveal some motivation about how she wants to kill people, but I just can't believe it at all. Like, I can't sit through that. So I'm glad they only used it for 1 episode. Cara Delevingne was even added into this show, and for all of her weird antics over these past few months, licking people's faces and being all in Meg Thee Stallion's face, which can't really blame her, but she's definitely got to tone it down a bit. She did a very good job in this show, actually. She brought a sense of kind of enigma, a mystery to this show. I mean, it is a murder mystery show, but her character was very mysterious. Like, you don't really understand like the full purpose of her character, but essentially that is, due to the point that everybody is a suspect. It's a murder mystery show. But the new additions to the show do a very good job. Amy Schumer wasn't in it long. Thank you, show creators. But I just have to applaud this show, because they know how to use their resources. They know how to use people who are in the show. They know where to take the show in different directions. They know how to keep you on the edge of your seat. They just know how to keep you involved the entire time. And overall, guys, the last 3 episodes really changed my entire outlook on this season, because this season's actually 10 out of 10. I didn't necessarily... I hate when shows try to act self-aware sometimes, and, they want to... And they kind of want to use... I feel like sometimes shows used as an excuse to be mediocre, like, through the middle of the season. But if you really go back and watch this season as a whole, you'll appreciate it a lot more, especially those last 3 episodes. You'll appreciate everything that it was setting up, everything it was trying to show you. It's just hard to catch that on a week-to-week basis versus catching it on like a binging basis when you're just watching it straight through. It's kind of harder to catch those things. But overall, guys, look, this show is absolutely incredible. It's phenomenal. It's everything I want out of a murder mystery and so much more, and I really want you guys to check it out. I don't know why I keep saying that, because it's a spoiler-filled review, but if you have not seen season 1 or 2, even if you did watch this entire spoiler-filled thing, please go do, because this show needs more viewers. I need more people to talk about this with, so please, if you watch this show, go in the comments below. Let's get some dialogue started. What do you think is going to happen in season 3? How do you think Paul Rudd died? I mean, this is going to be a wild season 3. We are in for a crazy ride. I mean, all of that stuff at the end of the finale, Steve Martin coming out, talking to him, I know what you did, all that good stuff. I mean, clearly there's something going on here that we just don't know about at all, and we're going to get all of that in season 3, but we have to wait a whole year. So while we're waiting that year, you guys need to go out and watch season 1 and 2 if you haven't. If you have, please leave a comment below, and be sure to like and subscribe, guys. Thank you so much for watching. This is your guy in the chair. More content coming to you soon.